Hello everyone. In the last video lecture, we were discussing about PPC, that is production planning and control. As you are aware that when any manufacturing activity has to be taken up, then as a production manager, we are supposed to plan the various activities that has to be carried. What we have done in the last lecture, we have discussed about the production planning. In today's lecture, we will try to discuss about the control aspect. Control, as you are aware, it is a management term where we discussed about the various techniques of controlling. Planning means to look forward, and control means to look backward. That means that whatever the activities that has been carried, we are supposed to see that whether those activities are as per our standard or not. In production also, it is the most essential activity that we have to take up, that before executing any activity we are supposed to plan, and we are supposed to be aware that what will be the factors which will help us in controlling the activities if they are being deviated from the planned activity. In this lecture we will discuss that what we mean by production control, the objective and the benefit, and the various factors which are affecting the production planning and the control aspect. So students, in the last lecture, we have initiated a topic with the name of production planning and control, that is PPC. And in the last lecture itself, we have taken an overview and the deep knowledge about what we mean by production planning. Basically, the functions of management, they are helping the production activities to function properly. As you are aware, planning is the first function and control is the last function. And we have said that planning means to look forward and control means to look backward. While we were discussing about the production planning, we discussed what are the various activities which are there in front of the manager, where the planning is required. Means peeping into the future, trying to forecast, trying to predict. And as per the goal, as per the objective set, the activities were supposed to be scheduled. Now today we will try to take up the second portion of PPC, that is production control. Control is basically a measure, is basically a tool which help us in bringing or applying correction if the outcome desired is not as per the plan. That means while making the application of controlling techniques, we are supposed to compare what we have planned and what we have received. If the plan and achieved is not having any consensus or deviation is there, that means some error is there while the production activities were taken care. So control will try to identify the errors in between and efforts will be made to overcome those errors. So rectification of errors can be done with the help of controlling techniques. Like you can see on the screen also that Henry Fewell has given a very clear definition and concept about the production control. When we say production, it means input, conversion and output. And control has to be applied on the three aspects. Means control on the input, control on the conversion, and control on the output. And see what he has said, that it is an art and science. When we say art and science, it means arts come from practice and science is assimilation of principles. methods. So certain things are controlled in the production activities with the help of art, that is the experience that we are having of doing that activity, and many things are controlled with the help of scientific methods. That means we are going to take the help of art and science, both concept, and will try to ensure that all the plan, rules and regulations, they have been followed while execution of the production activities. It is basically maintaining a balance in activities toward the goal or the set of goals involved during production activity. That whatever the goal that we have set, there should be a balance. Now, a clear concept of this can be discussed with the help of objectives. That when we make the application of production control, what are the various objectives which are there in front of the manager? Manager means the production manager, the operation manager. And you can see each and every objective of the control is trying to just helping the manager in minimizing the various cost or delays in the delivery itself. In control, we can say we organize the production scheduled. That whatever the production schedule is there, we have to see that whether the schedule has been met or not. The resources were used in the best possible manner or not. The cost is minimized or not. The delivery date is maintained. Economic production has to be done. That means unnecessary expenditures, they have to be reduced. There should be a proper coordination between the various operations of the company. The quality and the quantity has to be considered. Means whatever the quality that we have decided, it has to be there, and the quantity has to be met without any delay. The product design should also be checked, because certain times the errors comes due to deviation in the design and development of the product itself. Objective will be to perform inspection when the goods are semi-finished, and when they are finished, we can make use of the various statistical techniques, control techniques that we say as SQC, statistical quality control, which will help us in controlling the quality of the product while they are in production, as well as when they are received in the inventory. The objective is also to provide the feedback to the top management. The top management, the persons who are sitting on the top, and they are having a larger overview about the activities, their future plans and strategies. Now, what can be the benefits of production control? The first is better service control to customer. Better service to customer. See, the basic objective of the company is to provide the ultimate desired product to the customer. And if without any check, the goods or services they are brought in the market, automatically the compromise, the adjustment has to be done by the customer. And customer is what? The person for whom we are working. So if we are trying to satisfy the desired need of the customer, then the various controlling techniques, the production control is going to help in providing the better service to the customer. Control will also try to look about the schedule of operation. For how many hours the machine and the plant has operated, for how many hours a labor has done his work as per the norm, the production activities has been run or not. Overtime help the production to increase the output, but regular overtime is going to bring exploitation to the human resource. So wherever overtime is required, it has to be considered, not always. So less overtime. Then we can say need. Then we can say the need of smaller inventories of work in progress and of finished goods. Means the benefit is the control will help us in knowing how much inventory that we are supposed to maintain. What is the excess amount of inventory that we are maintaining? The excess inventory has to be reduced, because as you are also aware that a larger quantity of inventory is going to increase the holding cost for the company. Control will also check on the purchasing, that from where the goods have been purchased, who is the supplier of the raw material, at what rate, what quantity, and what price they have made the availability of the raw material. Effective purchasing, that we can say. Effective purchasing can be applicable. This we have already discussed, that effective use of equipment will be done. Because when we apply the control, then they will automatically identify that what has been used and what has not been used, which is overused and which is underused. Because whatever the equipment that we are having, if we want the life of the equipment to be achieved, then automatically there should be effective use of the equipment. Time plays an important role. Demand today may not exist tomorrow. If the demand exists today, then the production has to make available the goods today itself, because the tomorrow there will be delay. So less loss of time. That means loss of time is a basic aspect which already exists in the production activities. But the effort has to be made that we are able to reduce the loss. Cost. High cost of production will increase the cost price and selling price, and the goods will be costlier in the hand of customers, which may lead to decrease in demand. So whatever the effort the company has to make in reducing the cost. The saving has to be there. Work stoppage. Certain times due to unavoidable reasons, and certain times avoidable reasons, the production activities are shut down. They are stopped for a moment, for an hour, or for a day or two. Those activities have to be monitored. Like we can say lockdown, shutdown, strike. Because if the company is going to shut down, it will be the lockdown. But if the employees are going to stop the work, it will be a strike. And if there is some error in the machine or plant or any spare part or in the part, automatically the stoppage of the machinery has to be done. So regular repair and maintenance has to be done. So less stoppage. Now these are the various factors considered for production control. Functions also we will take up. but later on. Factors. That means what factors that we are supposed to keep in mind or which can deviate the production control activities. Nature of production. Nature of production means what you are producing. Whether it is a manufacturing item, engineering item, agricultural item, or any service item. Because the control application is going to vary on the basis of the goods and services that you are producing. The scale of operation means large. What is the quantity that you are producing? Whether the large operation is there or short operation is there. Producing in large quantity, producing in small quantity. The scale of operation is also because when the production is done on the large quantity basis, automatically certain hindrance will be there. Certain delays will be there. Certain compromises will be there. And we have to keep a record on each and every aspect. But when we try to divide the large operation into number of other divisions, automatically the check can be made. Nature of production, the first point. We can also here learn that whether we are having mass production, batch production, job shop production, or the project production. That means the type of manufacturing that we are having. On the basis of type of manufacturing, the controlling has to be applied. Philosophy of the management. Management, they are the top people who are trying to have interlink between all the activities of the company and the various functional groups. They will try to coordinate between marketing, finance, HR, and production activities. So quite possible, being a production manager, our objectives and work of operation may be different as compared to the top manager who is having the overall objective of the company. So certain times the top management, they interrupt in the activities of production because they are looking after the finance aspect also. They are looking after the marketing aspect also. They are also looking on the basis of HR problems. So that can also be one of the factor which can deviate our production control. Degree of mechanization means what is the level of automation and mechanization activity aspect that you are making use. Highly advanced, highly engineered. That means the activities are machine based or man-made based. Because when it is man-made based, the problem is man-made based, automatically the skill of the manager, the skill of the labor will be required to overcome. But when it is engineering based, then expert have to be involved. So the degree of mechanization is also one of the major aspects, because when the things are mechanized, automatically different aspect of people will be involved. And mechanization, if there is error in the mechanization or automation, then I suppose that the shutdown activity will be taking more time as compared to other aspect. Functions of production planning and control. Now we have taken a joint That means what are the functions of production planning and production control. A very flow chart I have tried to prepare. See, we have tried to divide the functions into two parts: production planning and production control. And you can see that what functions are supposed to be there in production planning: estimating, routing, scheduling, and loading. Estimating means estimate what and how production has to be done. What is to be produced, how it is to be produced, and how much it has to be produced. Estimating with respect to human resource, estimating with respect to finance, estimating with respect to material, estimating with respect to the plant. The proper layout has to be prepared. That is routing. Routing means we can say the layout, the map has to be considered, that from where the material will be inserted, how the procedure will be done, what are the various spare parts or plant in between they have to operate. That route plan that we can say. Scheduling is with respect to time, the start and the end time. Or schedule will also try to help us in knowing that what is a schedule of operation for producing a single unit. When the plant is supposed to start, when the plant is supposed to end. So when we make a schedule, like you must be knowing the schedule of lectures. So the schedule of lecture, which is known as timetable, that you can say. The same thing here, scheduling. When the first material will come, second will come, third will come, fourth will come. So when the company prepare the schedule, then schedule is prepared on daily basis. In every department of the production, they are going to have their schedule, and operation of the activities has to be done as per the schedule only. Loading. Loading means bringing the material and the machine from the inventory and load on the plant itself, so that the production activities can be carried. Now, the control aspect: dispatching, expediting, inspection, evaluating, and control. The production has been done, the goods need to be dispatched. That means movement of the goods from the production unit to the inventory unit or to the market. Expediting can also be called as follow-up. It is a feedback system that the manufacturing department should develop. And when we say about the feedback has to be taken for manager also, for a supervisor also, for the labor also. Feedback about the material also, the supplier also. The feedback about the machine also, the engineer also. A regular inspection has to be done. Nothing can be cleared from the production department until and unless a proper inspection has been done. Number of ways are there for inspecting, depending upon the nature of the goods itself. So inspection is also one of the major functions which has to be considered by the production control, because inspection is only going to lead that whether the deviation in the production is there or not. And the lastly is evaluating. Evaluating means evaluate what you have planned, either you have received it or not. Along with these 8 functions, Along with these 8 functions, we can say there can be few more. Like material is also one of the planning aspect as well as a controlling aspect. Methods also planning and controlling aspects. With what method? Quite possible the errors can be there in the method that we are involved, the method which are involved in the production. The machines, the equipment that we have, they can be also, we can say, errors can be there in machines or equipment. They can be obsolete. There can be wear and tear, which is trying to deviate the objective. So in this way, others are the same that we have discussed just now. In the end, I would like to say that production planning and control is one of the essential aspects of the production department, which has to be properly taken care, because until and unless the planning has not been done, overlapping of activities, identification of errors cannot be met. Production means large number of activities are operating simultaneously, and checking each and every activity is a difficult task. And when the large number of activities are there on floor, that means planning has to be taken care. Without planning, those activities cannot be managed properly. So production planning is an essential aspect or activity which has to be taken by the production manager. That is why we say the production manager should have the educational qualification as an engineering. He should be a BTech or MTech, but along with that, he should also be an MBA, so that the various principles and functions of management that can easily be applied by him. And when the planning has been taken care, automatically the control is also supposed to be kept in limelight, so that any deviation in the production can be identified and rectified by the production control. So thank you all of you for patiently listening about the basic concept of production planning and control.